This video, we are finally going to put a nice set of wheels and tires on the Cummins Ford. I've had this truck for, I don't know, 9 years. It's had 1 tons on it for, I don't know, 5 years, something like that. I've never had a set of wheels on it that I really liked. I've had some good tires on it, but I haven't had a set of wheels that I really thought fit this thing. I've had some Steelies, I've had some aluminum wheels. None of them ever really met what I wanted. So we're finally going to fix that. Well, since I didn't like the wheels I've got, I wanted these H2 wheels because I think we can make these really look like some old wagon wheels if we paint them white. So I couldn't find just wheels. I ended up having to buy wheels and tires. So we got to get these things out and get them dismounted, and they're really gross. So it's going to take some time to get them cleaned up. These might be the ugliest H2 wheels in the country. Luckily, this is just coating. It's nasty. That's going to take a lot to get off. But I got to get these cleaned up because we're going to paint them anyway, so who cares if they look like crap. But we do have to get them cleaned up. Okay, so these are cleaned up, and you can see they're kind of nasty. So when I bought these, there's 2 types of H2 wheels. There's painted, which are like a dark gray aluminum color, and then there's chrome. I thought these were the painted ones because they were so dirty and they'd be easier to clean up. I didn't realize they were actually chrome. So this is actually the chrome that was flaking off. Now, thankfully, it's pretty much only flaked off on the backside, so you can't really see it. On the front, kind of in some of these corners here, it was a little corroded, but not bad. But I took hours to clean these things up. I probably should have spent more money on a nicer set. Would have saved me a lot of cleaning. Like, I had to get the die grinder down in there and then barrel sanding discs, and it was a lot of work. But they just got to be wiped down and they're ready for paint. And I'm going to do a 3-stage paint on these. So I'm going to use the self-etching primer. I've used this before on wheels. It works really, really well. It should bite into the chrome that's left and the bare aluminum and give us a really good bite. Once that's done, we're going to go to this brick red and spray it down. And the reason for this is what I really wanted on the Ford is like the old wagon wheels. But because of the axles and the backspace, I can't find wagon wheels. They'd stick out. They'd look dumb. I hate when my tires stick out. So if I do the red underneath this matte clamshell, it'll tint this a little bit darker, which this matte clamshell is actually a really good match to the trim on the truck. But also, if the wheels get scratched or they wear through, you'll see this red color underneath. So it kind of will give it like a little faux tina, like rust kind of look. I hate fake patina, but on this one, I don't really have a choice, and if they get scratched, I really don't want this green showing. So we're gonna put a nice heavy red underneath, which should tint this a little bit darker, and then this will go on top. This is gonna be a long process. I got the backs primed. They look pretty nice, pretty even. Ooh, missed a spot. But I gotta let this dry, and then we'll flip them. I can do the fronts, so it's gonna be time consuming. They're looking good so far. Got them painted up, and I'll say this Rust-Oleum sprays really nice. Like, it went on perfectly. This Krylon, very, very thin, kind of sprays like crap. I had 0 runs with the red. That Krylon, it runs pretty much everywhere. But it's so thin, they kind of flatten themselves out. But these turned out really nice. I have 3 coats of white on top of 2 coats of red on top of the primer that we put down to start with. I still need to paint the back because I didn't want to flip them and maybe mess up the edge before this is cured. It was a little colder today. It's like 50 degrees, and I had the heater going to try to keep it warm, but they were just drying slower than I thought. I thought I'd get them fully painted today, but this will give the front side a few days to cure. I'll flip them. The back is primed. I just got to hit it with the red and the white on the back, but they turned out really nice. I am very happy with the finish on them. While this is kind of curing, I want to get my center caps figured out. And I bought these knockoff GM center caps, because I think they look the nicest with these wheels. The Dodge center caps are just goofy shape. These look really nice. The problem is, if you look, they don't seat down in there, like not even close. They're getting stuck on this lip here. And if you look at the back side, there's these little feet that stick out that touch, and it's tapered. So I need to shorten these up somehow so they seat down in there and get them even and make them look decent. And that's going to be kind of a pain, but I have a trick that I'm going to try. So I just need to take a little bit off, and I want it to be even. I took a die grinder cutting wheel and I put it in the drill press. My plan is I should just be able to spin this right on here, and it'll cut perfectly, and I shouldn't take out my little stands. So we'll see how this goes. All right, that was a really quick trim. And if you can see down in there, probably can't, but the thing's seated down nice and flush. It fits really well. There's no wiggle. It's really flush up against. Fits perfect. And that trim was really quick. And if you compare, you can see here, the feet are the same height. This board's just bent. That's about how much I had to take off. So I clean up around these feet. But man, that went really quick. Now I just gotta do 3 more of these things. Then we can paint these center caps, and we will have matching center caps. No more running dirty. I like it. Okay, these things turned out sweet. I'm really, really happy with this. The color's nice, the finish is nice, but these don't fit Dodge axles. because GM runs a smaller hub bore. So you can see there's a little lip here, actually, where it kind of necks down. And what I saw online, what guys do, it's a genius idea, is really you need it to be this outer diameter all the way through. So you can take a router. So if you take a flush router, which has this little bearing, so you set this depth that it rides, basically on this ledge, and then you can run around and it'll just machine it out. You have to do it upside down, obviously, so that ledge is on the bottom, but let's try it. Everybody says it's super easy. I've honestly never used a router. That thing's brand new. So, yeah, let's see how it goes. Wow, look at that. Just flush. Man, that looks really nice. All right, little guy. Did a good job. That turned way down. Man, that's, yeah. I just got 3 more to go. All right, this thing turned out freaking sick. My boys down at Beatty Tire got me hooked up and mounted up because, man, these 37s, they're a fight. They have a hell of a beat on it, and it took forever for these wheels to cure because it was so cold, but they didn't nick them at all, so that is awesome. This thing looks meaner than it ever has. All right, so I've got some Load Range F 37-inch Nexen MTX. As you can see, they are already kind of doing their job. I've had these tires on a few trucks and I really like them. Not sponsored. I wish I would be because, man, they are not cheap. But they've been really good to me. They're quiet. They kind of do really good overall. And, man, they look super, super mean. And I'm really happy with these H2 wheels because if you look down, they just poke out just a little bit. And they're 8.5 inches wide. So they're a little bit wider than the other wheels I had on here. And makes tires sit a little bit flatter. And, man, they look right. And if you look at that color match between the wheel, the bumper, the grill, it's perfect. And then for the center caps, did the GM center caps. And that logo, I struggled with what to put in there. And in the end, I came down to, you know what? I'm going to throw it back to what this truck had on it. So this is an original center cap from this truck. And I know it's hard to tell because that's kind of crusty. But that's the same logo. It's the old Crown logo that Ford used. And I think it just suits it really well. I think it just looks really good on here. It's kind of a nice little throwback to what this truck had originally. And yeah, I'm super happy with this. Finally has a good looking set of wheels on it. They fit it. They kind of have the old school wagon wheel look, which is what I wanted. But yeah, get them a little dirty. They'll look perfect. And man, does it look so much meaner on these wheels. But now I do got to get that bed painted. The primer bed, that's just killing me. But I think this thing's pretty much done for now. Got nearly 20,000 miles on it. It's got new wheels and tires. Just been driving it. It's time to go back to the 51. That's what you'll see in the next videos. We're finally working on the 51.